All right. Looks like I'm back. Hope the quality is good. I'm at a cafe, so I hope you guys can hear me okay. When y'all start getting on here, you can let me know. Up until then, get some credits out of the way. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Y'all know what you did on that. And also, go to my new channel. I know some new viewers that will watch this. Go to my new channel. Support me. Subscribe. It's Major Experience TV on YouTube. So hit me there and show some support if you can. If your thumb's not too tired from hitting all these other subscribe buttons on all these other channels, you know what I'm saying, hit me up. Let's see, live chat, super chat. Which one are we gonna do, super chat or live chat? Let me hit the super chat. Hey, so somebody on here, go ahead and hit me in the messages so I can make sure the live chat thing is working. Shoot me a quick message real quick. Appreciate it. Just let me know everything's working good. All right, well, let me click to live chat. See what happens. Okay, there we go. Let's see. All right, they all just busted in at the same time. All these chat messages. I appreciate that. We must be synchronized or something. Must be synced, because it's like all y'all messages came in at the exact same time. What's up, Jax? Same to you. All these new handles popping up. Are y'all subscribers? Cause some of y'all's I haven't seen before. Tyler B, what's up? Some of you peoples, it's some new ones. All right, that's what's up. That's dope. All right, so y'all saw the title. Oh, go ahead and hit the likes too on this feed. It does help the algorithm get the messages out, you know, because they hold my stuff back. They've been doing this for a minute, so y'all know how they get down. So to overcompensate for that, that's why I got to keep asking y'all, thumbs up like crazy. This stuff, you don't always need this technical how to do this and how to do that. When the time comes for you to make a move, if you've been mentally preparing for movement, you know, everybody who's not prepared to move when they be still when they need to be still, run when you need to run, be still when they need to be still, run when you need to run, jog, skip, whatever, that's a whole nother story. But all the messages you need to hear about how to do this and how to do cool, but they really don't come into play unless you got your first mindset down to a T. And that's always the precursor before you actually get the ball rolling, so to speak. You want to always be tight up here so that no matter which situation you find yourself in, you ready to roll out of it. You ready to make a move. You ready to duck. You ready to whatever you got to do. So other than that, don't involve yourself too much with how to be ready for the next big event. They've been saying this for a while. For some of y'all that's new to the reality of things, people have been prepping and trying to do stuff for the last over 30 years. Like, I mean, it used to just be a lifestyle. You just lived rugged. You just lived out there taking care of yourself. So all of this stuff is fairly new to a country such as a European nation or the United States, because it's been in such a long period of just say high-mindedness or high nature, because the way they developed the civilization, teaching you to be civil as a program in itself, because that was the whole goal, was to civilize the tribes, the tribal mentality and the tribal energy and power. So they did that. They did it. And so now that you've been civil for so long under your civil liberties you think you have, you actually have been placed in a deficit position just on programming alone. Like, it hasn't taken but probably 30, maybe 40 years for them pressing, maybe longer than that, but really after they did the Indian Removal Act back in the late 1800s, 1890, the Trail of Tears, right? That's what it was called. Instead of they covered the name up, used the Trail of Tears, just so it'd be a little softer than the Indian Removal Act of whatever it was, 1890 or whatever. And so after they got that out of the way, now it's all about integrating and putting people in the proper mindset to be controlled the way that they need to control people. So you've been living in a made up reality, living in America and probably in Europe, same thing, a made up reality where you haven't had to be instrumental in parlaying the environment into what you want it to be, or naturally blending into the environment. It's been all created for you. All the buildings, the grass been put out front, the trees, landscape, they took all the natural ones out and planted these other ones in there. Everything has been simulated to give it off an effect that you're doing good. At the same time, they deconstructing who you really are and changing you into what they want you to be. So the title I put in there, get rid of everything now or regret it. What I'm talking about is not your possessions, but that would be helpful. The less stuff you have to drag around this planet, the freer you actually are. The more stuff you have, the more problems. You notice there's more money, more problems, right? That's a true statement. Within certain levels of being wealthy or financially independent or whatever, you have your moments, you have your areas of, I can enjoy this right here. But you like everybody else. More money, more problems. It's not more money, less problems. It's more money, more problems. Better believe that. Trust, take it from me. But you rather be in a position of having it coming to you and being able to diffuse it or get rid of it or whatever than being in a deficit position and being under the authority of, your bill collector or so on and so forth. But once you sign up for something, you liable. So like, get rid of everything or you'll regret it. I'm talking about the mindset. Get rid of your old mindset. Or yes, later in life, if you live that long, you will regret a lot of things. If you stubborn and you condition, we already know we program. So I'm gonna be the first one to say, I'm programmed too. I might be less programmed because I've been deprogramming items, take each thing line item at a time. I might not even have enough years on the earth left to deprogram all this crap they hit us with. But I'm well aware that that's occurred, and I'm well aware that I don't want to accept any more on top of the piles of programming I already got, right? And then I'm also aware that, there's a way in my mind that I can deprogram it. All I got to do is understand the concept, like a computer. You got a hard drive and a computer, right? If you get a whole bunch of programs on there, right, and then you add more on top of there while you keep working the computer, your brain, what will happen is those things will conflict with each other, and you'll get what's called either a sluggish operating computer, OS system, or you'll actually be right in line with about to crash your hard drive. It'll be almost imminent that this is going to occur at some point. One more piece of data, your stuff going to freeze up, lock up, and that's going to be a wrap. That's happening to people. Why y'all think they calling people zombies? Why y'all think the CDC come out with something called zombie preparation? You can go on their website. You can go on Google and see where they posted last year how to prepare for zombies or something like that. That's on they put that on their website. So what happens? The average Joe will go, oh snap, gotta get more ammo because this looks just like a movie I watched 2 years ago, or this is the show The Walking Dead. See, they got you programmed into visualizing what is this and what is that. So when they say the magic word, oh, zombie apocalypse, everybody, oh, snap. You already got images stored in your subconscious as to what that looks like to you. I Am Legend comes to mind, The Walking Dead, whatever other 2 million zombie apocalypse movies they got out there, same thing, okay? Same thing. So you gotta understand before you can understand. If you keep understanding, you'll keep being under the authority of the programs. Once you start introspecting yourself and saying, yo, could this little brown dude be making some kind of sense? Like, could this kind of be, okay, let's break it down. Soon as you was born and you came out, somebody shined that bright light in your face from your comfortable, dark, warm, beautiful place. Shine this bright light in your place. You ain't got no blanket. You ain't warm no more. You exposed to all of the exterior dangers that could exist to mankind. Before you was protected, as far as you knew, in your mama's stomach. What enemies? How could you learn of enemies? How could you learn of anything bad in there? You're sheltered. You're protected. Then you get thrust into this bright light scenario. Somebody turn you upside down, hit you on the butt a couple of times, and then you start crying. Welcome to the world. Welcome to America. Eddie Murphy, coming to America. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. So I have a bad connection? Hold on. Jack said I got a bad connection. I'm going to probably lose my train of thought. I hope not. Somebody pop up on the screen if I got a bad connection. You are buffering some. Okay. That could be the case, guys, because I'm at a cafe and I forgot. Yeah, the other day their Wi-Fi wasn't working so good. So somebody update me right now if you can as to if my connection is okay right this minute before I go on, or if it's still buffering. Somebody throw something on the comments real quick. Alright, I'm gonna try to okay, I see a thumbs up, but somebody put on the screen real quick, bad connection, good connection, or whatever, and then I'll get back to what you got brought into as far as programming when you was born, how that all works, and how we can fix those things if we gather the concept how to fix it. I'm not getting any live chat feeds right at the moment, so maybe I do have a bad connection. I'm not sure. I don't want to keep going if I do. So somebody please put a message down here. Let me try something else. Let me go to super chat, top chat. Okay, I'm Crystal. It's good hearing you loud and clear. Okay, that's what's up. I was on the wrong chat feed. Okay, great. Okay, awesome. So we come out, we borned it, we get the bright light, we get the hit on the butt, we start crying, everything done changed in an instant. From the time you came out and they was pulling on your neck and your head to get you out of there, whichever way you came out, cesarean or natural birth, whatever it is, you got thrust into an environment that was anti you from the start. So the program had already started. It started in your mother, depending on what she was watching and what she was doing. It started with your daddy, if he was in the house talking while you was in there, because babies listening to the everything that's going on around you. The babies can learn while they're in the mother's womb, literally. Like if you play classical music, that's what I did with my daughter. You play classical music when they little in the mama's stomach, and there's certain frequencies that exist in the music. Now the megahertz is I forget what the actual number is, but they altered it so that they could create the rap music to be, instead of hip hop, they created it rap music to be a alternative negative to hijack hip hop. So what they did is they changed the frequency of the music, the scales and stuff. It's so crafty. So instead of having the high ups, the party music like Crush Groove or that movie, or like Curtis Blow kind of. You remember Curtis Blow? They playing basketball. Everybody like, even the white people like, even the Spanish people like, yeah, that basketball song is totally awesome. Okay, I say let's go play some basketball, yeah. So everybody would bump to the hip hop, right? But then as time progressed, they hijack, altered the frequency. Now it's a lower frequency. It's actually at a detrimental vibration frequency. And I forget the actual megahertz. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. I'm a little rusty with that number stuff. But that's why all the music comes out all low, loud, thumping. You can't really be happy and feel great to this kind of music. It got a certain groove and a certain appeal because over time it's bled all the other styles out, and then it's been actually marketed in such a way that even there's more Caucasian people, like teenagers, listening to the rap music than actually little brown kids anymore. But they regurgitating the lyrics, the redundant, stupid, non-applicable to your life in a positive way lyrics, right, as programming. So from day one, you in a program. That was my whole point. Like, I'm just trying to intertwine some stuff so you can see everything's a program that's working for or against you at all times. Even when you're sleeping, you got programs running, especially if you program to keep the TV on while you sleep, to keep the phone close to your bed. You got frequencies and different energies coming out of all of these devices plugged into your house. Not just your phone, not just your smart TV that's sitting there watching you watch it, okay? Not just your smartphone. You got people now starting to populate their house with smart devices. Yo, turn on the lights come on. Yo, lazy ass, you know what I'm saying? How lazy? You got electricity coming through your house. You ain't got to go start a fire to get some light at nighttime or get warm. You go flip the switch. Now we just go walk in the house and be like, yo, Siri Junior, whatever, give me some lights, please. Click. Bedroom, click. All this stupid stuff, right? Why? They got to keep putting the cheese out there for the little mice to run on the treadmill for. Got to keep you occupied, hook, line, and sinker, so you stay in the program. So the only way to fix any of this stuff is to lose everything you got. Like, get rid of systems that are not beneficial to you. How do you know the systems that are not beneficial to you? Because the stuff that you do over and over again without getting no good result for yourself, it's right there. It's obvious. Like, you keep smoking. What's the benefit? Oh, I like smoking. That's it? No, I'm not against you because you smoke. Don't get me wrong. But what's the benefit? It has no real benefits. If I'm drinking alcohol every day, what's the benefit? If I'm angry all day, what's the benefit? If I'm still stuck in my residual, I'm gonna work out this time and lose some weight, but I never get up. The only thing I pick up is a spoon. Come on, it's the same program. So if you like being in those locations that you keep complaining about, then by all means, I guess, do what you did. But if you don't like it and you're trying to get out of it, then you'll know if you're really trying to get out of it, because you'll be trying to get out of it. You won't just be talking about it. You won't just... So all the programs that exist in and around you are what's creating our environments that we're dealing with right now. Everybody keep, man, you talking all that gibber jabber. Okay, all right. I've seen it work in my own life constantly. I've been on this path for a good 7 to 8 years now, and I can see with what I've been talking and speaking, and then the actions that I take in order to have roadways and highways and maps leading to the destination I want to get to, the traffic's starting to build up, the momentum's building up. So I see that's what's happening. You couldn't be talking to me while I'm in Vietnam right now if I hadn't somewhere already said that's what I'm gonna be doing. And then, yo, got my passport. Yo, did it. I mean, years and years and years ago. But somewhere you had to make up your mind to take an action. They don't let you out of the country unless you get the passport card. Okay, that's your handler's permission paper, so you can come and go as you think you free to do. So that's one piece. Two, you got to understand. Then I want you to start overstanding. Then I want you to start understanding so you can outerstand. Okay, understanding is common lingo, but just know, like I said in the last live, it's a military term. Just like stand down, standing in law. Understand. Cops say, do you understand me? And then they force you through fear and the lack of knowledge to say, yeah, I got you, right? Well, when you do that and you acquiesce, you actually, without knowing, just gave up your natural rights to that police officer, because now you stand under the law. That's how they got this thing all wrapped up like a bunch of knots and ropes all tied together, and then your job, like an extension cord, got all tangled up, and you got to spend all this time trying to unwind it and, to get it straight, right? You're like, dang, why didn't somebody just wrap it the right way so I ain't got to deal with this? Well, that's the problem. If you keep wrapping your thoughts the same way you've been rapping, and you think you're going to get a different result, it's not going to happen. Because if you ain't got the result yet, and you haven't cataloged or written down how you got the result so you can keep repeating the process, and you just keep getting all these results you don't like in life, then guess what? That's because you ain't got rid of everything you need to get rid of so that you can put in the stuff you need so you can change your life, right? It's really not hard, but then it's kind of hard, because the part you got to get past is, look, I'm going to tell you this right here. I'm looking you dead in your face today. Right now. I see all of y'all. Right now. I see you. Y'all, you got to look yourself in the eye. Go look in the mirror like an actor does when they sitting there rehearsing and training. They sit in the mirror all day. Kevin Hart, he don't make all them crazy faces and do all them gestures just because he actually been practicing that stuff for years and years, okay, before it became like naturally. Now he got his natural skills and talent, but you got to rehearse that when you're trying to perform it in front of people. So you got to go look yourself in the mirror. You got to rehearse this stuff to yourself. You're the only one that you need to convince of anything. Stop letting other things convince you to do this and to do that. When are you going to take possession of your ownership of you and then start convincing yourself to do or be what it is you trying to do or be? Why we keep taking all these tips from all these people? Look, people will pay. Now I consult people, okay? I do business consulting. Show you how to set up your own security business. Show you how to set up your own fire safety company. Whatever business you want to do, I can consult you and get you popping. No doubt about it. I got that experience. However, the way I package stuff, people are so programmed that they don't believe it's true. Now here's what I'm gonna show you. For example, this shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes with this programming. So Grant Cardone, this guy or that guy can get on TV, have everything edited, okay, have everything all written down with paperwork and all this stuff ready to send to your email for his program that he has. And basically you see his success through the lens of the camera that he's allowing to follow him around to show you the program of, oh, I'm successful. I'm getting on the jet, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing my meetings, I'm meeting with Usher, I'm doing all this crazy stuff. Okay, so now you're convinced that, yo, this dude know what he's talking about, and you ain't never met him a day in your life. You ain't never talked with him like we talking now and can fill him out, but through an infomercial, you all of a sudden convinced through programming that dude can show you how to be a millionaire as well. He's a billionaire, you gonna be a millionaire. So You go on and do the program. It's 8, 9, 10,000, whatever it is. You do the payments, blah blah blah. Throw your money in the thing, and you off to the races. And 6 months later, you still trying to figure out how to did the thing. I'm not successful. Dang, that was a scam. It ain't working. Blah blah blah. Well, here's why. For one, you shouldn't trust people that haven't told you how they failed first. You dig? So the next time somebody's trying to sell you something, they sell through their services. You're trying to do the same process they did to become successful by paying them to show you. First question you need to ask is, how many times have you failed? I want to hear your failure stories. But no, we so jacked up. We only vibing on the Bentley rolling through the infomercial, the helicopter landing, the big building he's walking into with his name on top, airbrushed in there, you know, whatever they do, Photoshop. Look, if it's real, it's real. If it's photo, it don't even matter. The point I'm trying to make is that's how we wired to over or understand, in this case, what is going on. And so my whole thing for talking to you is, when are you gonna start talking to you about what you want to do and coming up with solutions by asking them questions to you? You are a powerful being. You and me are very powerful. Okay? Denying the power thereof. You look like you godly, but you ain't got no power. So then what's the use of having anything? Why even talk about it? Why even say, oh, I follow this way or that way? But the book that you're reading from say you got power. You got the ability to do this and do that. The person you following, walking on water, doing this, doing that. Have you started doing that yet? Have you started researching the different molecular structures of water so you can craft a way to walk on water or something? Have you even went down that road in your thoughts? Probably not. Why? Because your program is too thick. So what you got to do is start fixing this stuff so you could be whatever they call in success. See, you got to be careful with the word success too, because it's been programmed to create the visuals in your mind of what success is supposed to look like in your region, right? So then with all of those high-level successful locations that you can't even get to, you can't even touch, right? You can't even get in the gate. They got a $2,000 cover charge. You can't even get in the front gate to go in and see what's going on, right? Because you ain't got the 2 snaps to go up in the gate. Well, the reason why it's like that is because they want you to be in zombie land in your mind. They want you to be, yo, I think I could do it, but wow, that's a lie. And, you know, it take a lot of money to do this and do that. And then you get another information. Oh yeah, I think I'm motivated again. And then, well, it take a lot of money. I ain't got no money. Don't nobody really ever tell you how to do the thing, but they sitting there doing the thing and getting your money, and you can't do the thing. So if you out there and you went to some, now you raking it in and you're a millionaire, somebody throw your hands up and say, yeah, you went to somebody's conference or seminar and it really worked out really well for you. Give me throw something on the chat and let me know that that's working, because you're the exception. I'm gonna tell you, if you don't do this first, all the training and seminars in the world ain't gonna help you with jack, because your subconscious has already been programmed at such a high. It's gonna protect. It's trying to protect you by keeping the position that you're already in. That's why stuff start up and look like it's doing something and then drop off. I had to figure this out myself. Why my business keep going up like that and then coming down? And I can see, whoa, I did that in 1 month, and then where'd it go? It went down. Why can't it keep going? Why don't it stay steady? Your subconscious has been programmed. If y'all don't know what your subconscious is, y'all need to look that up. Some of y'all do, a lot of you don't. Your conscious thoughts are up. Just pretend that that's the front of your brain. Your subconscious back here in the back. All right. Why do you think the devil on your shoulder, or the devil is on your? Because your subconscious back here somewhere. Okay. So you your own devil. Y'all stop playing games with the word devil. That ain't even the right. Satan is not even how you pronounce the word Satan as you know it. It was really pronounced Satan. Go look that up. It's hard to decipher what's what anymore because everything has been so blended. Nothing is original. Everything's a revised copy of the copy that's revised and revised twice over, 3 times and twice on Sunday, copied again, sent back to Cambridge in England, revised again by other scholars, 52 of them, and then they sent in the final paper that then got struck down by the Vatican, and then they revised it. That's what you're reading right now, all of that kind of stuff, all of that craziness. So get back to the original. That's you. You're the original masterpiece. There's no copy of you, not yet. There's no not yet, Elon. You know what I'm saying? Not yet. So you're the only energy you are in, let's use the word universe, in the universe. If there's such a thing out there as the universe, I ain't been out there, so I don't know, and I don't know who made the work, so I can't verify, I can't collab. I can only use what my skill set through this crazy language we have to use to communicate with allows me to give you the imagery of. Okay, I say the universe, you start thinking of the pictures they showed you from a NASA, from a movie, or the rings around Saturn. I say the universe. Some of y'all be like, oh, that's new age, I don't want to hear that. I say the universe. Some people might think Universal Studios, I just came from there. Yeah, I was in Florida and that was dope. You know, it's all kind of pictures that we've been programmed with that pull up images. Even though we don't see the image in our mind right away, it's pulling up the information that's attached to the image. That's why you got to be careful watching movies. They trying to move you off your square. Movies, entertainment. To enter, the word tain. See, break these English words. I'm gonna go over this real quick again, just to give you the concept of how programmed we are. Entertainment center. You know, they came out with that years ago. I'm gonna go get me a new entertainment center. Got the radio, got the TV, got the 8-track, all in the same box. Yo, got little lights glowing in the speakers when you turn it on, like a little disco. Yeah, entertainment center. Then they went from that to on the wall entertainment center. Put a bigger TV up in there. Now you got your turntable, got your receiver, got your equalizer. That was back in the day. You had to have like 3 or 4 different devices to make, you know, one sound come out. You got your vinyl, you got your entertainment center. So the word entertainment, break it down. I'm gonna do it again. Enter, y'all know what that means. Come up in something, okay? The word tain, T-A-I-N. I was like, okay, there ain't no word called tain. Then I looked it up. There's a word called tain. Old English, they still use it to this day, but not in common lingo. The word tain was the word they used to describe that silver. It's like a thin silver parchment. That's the stuff that's behind the glass, on one side of your glass, that then turns it into a mirror. Okay, so now you don't see straight through the glass, something bounces the image back to you. That's what tain is. So bounce that image back to you, and then mint, the word M-E-N-T. You can always associate that with just by putting the word govern in front of that. What's that spell? Government. So that's there to govern the mental of the people. That's what the government institutions do. That's their only job. That's their only MOS. That's their only post instruction, is to govern the mental of me and you. That's it. Government institution, governmental. Come on, y'all. This is stuff that, you know, okay, somebody said tain also means to hold. I guess you could use that if you find these. Okay, let me tell you something about definitions. If you go in the Black's Law Dictionary, see, if we jump on Wikipedia and all these pedias that's right here, right now, you're not even getting true definitions of some words. You're getting like the revised copy, new edition. Here we go again. Every century, we're gonna rephrase things a little bit. We're gonna, instead of using the word fag back in the 20s to describe give me a cigarette, we're gonna use the word fag, and because the cigarette was skinny, we're gonna apply that to people that don't associate with men if they're a woman, or if there's a man, they like men. Okay, so we call it a fag, right? Well, the word fag wasn't never descriptive towards a person once upon a time. Okay, but back in the day, that's all you would call. You would call people that more than they say the N word. Just it's just street lingo kind of thing. You don't mean nothing by it, and the person probably ain't, but you just street lingo, right? But just know that once upon a time, that was a word used to describe a cigarette. So if somebody said back in 1920, yo, let me cop a fag, and they could give me a cigarette. So they changed these definitions. The only way to overcompensate for that is you got to go buy the old dictionaries, go to these garage sales and be looking for books instead of looking for dollar stuff for the like clothes, and go look for the old books people throwing away. Anything older than 1950, grab it. I don't care what kind of book it is. It could be a cookbook. It's gonna have some stuff in there. You gonna go, what? I didn't know that's what they was doing. Yeah, that's what they was doing. Any kind of book that's a novel is still descriptive of the times. So the writer is mainly looking through the lens, unless it's 1983, Orson Welles, whatever dude's name is, wrote that. I forget his name, book 1983. I think that was the year, but I didn't read it, so I just know the description of it and like the introduction to it. But they always writing through the lens of the time or the surroundings that they're in most of the time. So you'll get a lot of insight by reading my bad, 1984. I told y'all I'm off my game. I'm a little rusty with the numbers, and I don't mind being vulnerable that way, because I told y'all already that's what it was. But Louis put it 1984. I said 1983. You know why? 1983 is probably when MTV first started, and I got 1983 stuck in my brain because I was watching some of the first videos that came on MTV, like David Bowie, what was the one, Peter Gabriel, and some of y'all like, Peter Gabriel, who Major? Come on, bro, ain't you Brown? There was once upon a time where things were just starting, and you were able to see the beginnings of things before it became what it is today. So VH1 wasn't VH1, it was MTV, and they started off with Michael Jackson would pop on there, but it wasn't too many brown people on MTV when I started watching it. So I got a healthy dose of, like I just said, David Bowie, Billy Idol. Is that his name, Billy Idol? But David Bowie, who else was on there? Phil Collins was on there. There's a lot of old groups that are real old now that they was just jumping on MTV. So anyway, and I'll probably think of some others as I keep speaking, but the whole point is everything that is this old is a reflection of the times. And I was saying 1983, probably thinking about that, or Madonna or something crazy, you know what I'm saying? What's the other girl's name? It was a whole bunch of groups that came out during that time. It's kind of reminiscent of what's that old movie with what's his name? And I'm gonna think of that one too. Y'all see I'm so rusty, but it's okay. Let's keep it moving. So let's see, y'all probably Cyndi Lauper. Yo, y'all reading me now. See that 1983 pull out a lot of stuff, don't it? Cyndi Lauper, that's right. Culture Boy George, Culture Club. Yo, yep, Peter Gabriel, Shock the Monkey. As the time, you go back in some of these old books, especially in the library, they kind of telling you what it is you're walking into, okay? Library, okay? Anyway, library, his story. They're telling you exactly how they phrased these things, what's the meaning of them. So if you go into the library looking for truth, you can find the truth, but you can't find it in the truth section. You got to go in the reference book section, the books that they don't let you check out, the ones that's going to make you work to get the information, because you got to take a pen and a pad in there. They might let you take pictures, I don't know, but you can't check these books out because they the old books from 1800s, 1700s and all them kinds of hundreds, right? If you go up in them books, you about to see that things weren't like they is now. Like the programming, and you got to understand too, just so you can start overstanding that you got two different history systems running. You got three different America things running in the background. You got a computer screen full of all these programs open at the same time. Here's why I say that. Okay. You know, I had to throw these on because it's about to get bright up in here. No, I'm joking. So, when you look at things like civil liberties and Second Amendment and First Amendment, 14th Amendment, all this amendments, right? It wasn't written for everybody, right? Or did you? Now, you have the Declaration of Independence, you got all of this stuff. That wasn't written for every people group. That was written for colonial powers who were overtaking the landmass, formerly known in English as Turtle Island. And I don't know what the Aboriginal name was, but it's probably something like Washu Washu. You know, it probably called it something pretty cool, but I'll have to investigate and find out what that is. But let's go with Turtle Island right now in English, which probably it probably lessens the power of what the place is called, because they change a lot of states' name but keep it like Wichita, Kansas. There's a tribe, it's probably not even pronounced Wichita, but look at all the Mississippi, those are tribes, you know, Saskatchewan and all these different names, and there's so many names that were tribal names still in the states that we just think are just names, places we go to. We don't even think past the program and go, oh, they kind of leaving some breadcrumbs behind so I can figure this out. Okay, let's do this, y'all. And I know I'm gonna circle the wagons back and get back to why you got to get rid of everything or regret it, but we're gonna put a little twist in here. So don't let me forget that. So the society that you live in was crafted in such a way as to make sure that, and y'all need to go, this isn't no racial thing, this is just the truth. TRUFF, because the truth, you don't know if it's been a lie to get to that truth, or if the truth is covered up by the lie, or the lie was told long enough to turn into truth. So I'm gonna use the word truth, TRUFF. Okay, so yeah, Tallahassee's one too. So the whole purpose of how we're seeing things generated, this is Caucasian, white, whatever you call yourself, it don't matter, it's just people. We just different tones, different hues. That's why they say human, because we different hues. Hue means color. The yellow people, brown people, black, gray, Indian people from India, some of that kind of gray, blackish, you know, it's all kind of tones and hues out there. So it's not a racist statement, and I'm not even talking about anything racist. If you are the lighter tone, it looks more like the colonialism groups, then I can't help that. You was just born that way, just like I was born this way. But y'all's ancestors, and I'm not holding you to it, but y'all's ancestors conquered a landmass, right, and took over it in such a way that they not only covered over the old stuff, overlaid it with their new, like they're doing the programming to us right now, but they also made systems and put systems in place for their people. Now, if I'm a ruler and I come to take over a country, wouldn't I do the same thing for my people? Like, I'm taking over, I'm coming in your land and I'm gonna take over you, right? Why would I then make a way for you to come back and take over me? Y'all watch these movies all of the time, and that's how these movies work. One group of people, the Romans is taking over, trying to take over the Greeks or whatever. They fighting wars and one of them wins. Even in the book called the Bible, this group over here, God's chosen people, he said go in there and take over this area, kill all the people, don't take no possessions from there, and then take over that place or whatever. So that's what they do. You come in and take over, you set up your systems in the place so that your people can go through them systems that you put in place, while the other people have to migrate into your system. The whole reason for that is because the conqueror wants to stay the conqueror. That's like common sense. So hold on, I'm trying to. Okay, so the conqueror, if you're oblivious to who is the biggest conqueror in the world, the colonial system, you have to look at the sun never sets on Great Britain. The sun never sets on the empire, right? And the Queen just passed, so some few things are in turmoil, but that'll probably ratchet up activities all over the world because people trying to pull out of the group now. They like, yo, the thumb is off of us. We can get up out of here. Let's start, let's gather. That's why countries are pulling into themselves now, because the old monarchy is gone. They don't know what the new one gonna do, but they're like, yo, this is the time. Let's exit stage left, like Pink Panther. You know what I'm saying? So, the colonialism system has been in play, and I didn't put this there. I'm just regurgitating the basic footnotes that I know about his story they told all of us. So Great Britain is the main. So if you look at the British flag, what other flag it look like? There's the one called the American flag. Just the lines go this way, and with theirs it kind of crisscross like this way. Same color scheme. Everything else is the same. So colonialism is something the world has been fighting against forever. One group trying to take over from the next. But one group got strong enough over the years by collaborating and joining up with other groups, making a big union up. What they call that over there? The G7 and the, what else they call it? NATO and them. Yeah. So anyway, they get these groups. Them groups been around for 1,000 or more years. Y'all, they just put new names on it and call it NATO. They call it this one and call it that one, just so you know every 20 they're gonna call it something different to keep you off track. So colonialism has impacted the landscape of a whole bunch of countries that was in their original state. Okay, so you can't deny the fact that, so Caucasian people, if that's what you call yourself, you just people to me, but I'm just trying to use the language to define what we think everything is in discussion in this kind of closed-in debate, because y'all can't talk back, so I'm only kind of debating myself, I guess. But you are really the foreigners in America, and then copper colored people, not Africans. Copper colored people are the original people of that landscape. Just basic knowledge, but that wasn't taught in grade school. That wasn't taught in kindergarten. You, just like me, whether you white, green, black, yellow, orange, if you went to public school, you were taught and trained that George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, so on and so forth. I pledge of allegiance to the United and to the okay, you were taught all of the same stuff. Why? Because they have to assimilate the tribes and keep them to the system. That's just a fact. So this is not to make you angry or them. Like, why are you trying racism? I didn't create the word racism. I don't even know what that is. I think that's just should be called utter stupidity. Racism, somebody made that word up to pit one group against the next. Just like Jesse Jackson coined the term back in 1995, 97, African American. He came up, they let him come up with that. So people think they African American, people think they white, people think we this, we that. We the only group of people, though, brown people, that keep getting the name change of describing who we are in the world. So you have to acknowledge that as real truth. I'm so sorry. I can't fix that. Like, I can't lie or like sugarcoat stuff. So if you get into his story, it gets real messy because they've already programmed your thinking against my thinking. Your religion against my, I don't have one, but I'm just saying, your religion against my religion. That's why the Methodists can't get along with the Baptists, and the Baptists can't get along with the Pentecostals, and the Pentecostals can't get along with the this and the that, and the Seventh-day Adventists can't get along with the Jehovah's Witness. Come on, man. Why is that the case? Why is that? Why don't they have one big group to fix the world's problems? You know, people get angry with me talking about this stuff, or like, oh, you're trying to do this and you're trying to do that. Well, why don't you argue with the churches? They ain't doing squat. And if you're a pastor listening to me right now, you know that's the truth. Ain't doing nothing. Can't bust a grape. Talking with new suits on, lips flapping, arms flailing, people shouting. From my culture, that's what we did. That's what we do. Shout and run around the church. Filled with some, and most of the time ain't no Holy Ghost. Something else running up in your excitement from being entertained, I guess. It's just overwhelming. Gotta go get down, gotta dance to the music. And ain't nothing outside of that building change positive. What's wrong with using the word positive or negative? Those are true descriptions of energy. Positive wires, negative. Is that one's red, one's black. I didn't make that up. But people will ridicule you for saying, oh, you're talking all that positive mumbo jumbo. So you go to the doctor, you trying to hear a negative result? Oh, you'll listen to the doctor if he say, well, your result came back positive. You know, that means you got something, or your result came back negative. But in that moment, oh yes, negative. Oh, I'm so thankful it's negative. You know what I'm saying? So we use stuff for ourselves when we're in fear, but we don't use it for anything else to gain power through. Just programmed into fear so deep. So the colonial system that was overlaid over America is still prevalent. See, they will try to tell you that it's all equal. It's not. Why would it be? It's common sense. If somebody came and took over somebody else's turf, they gonna change everything. That's what I'm saying. If I'm the ruler and I'm got my mindset on taking over this island, and I want to conquer it, and I want to take over all the people, why am I gonna come up in there being nice? Why am I gonna come up in there? This is all to recognize the environment that you in, that I'm in. Well, me not right this minute because I'm over here in Vietnam. Whole different thing going on. All of that stuff is not existing or in existence here. So the colonial system, that's what you need to be angry at. If you white, black, green, or yellow, because if you white, you kind of been seduced into your group is the elevated group, and that would be a fact. All the other groups are on the low. You know, you're looking down on them kind of, because your financials are going to be higher than most of the groups, and that's not like every single white person or Caucasian person in America. I'm not saying that. For the most part, yes, y'all make more money, got bigger houses, land, cattle, all that stuff, and everybody else just scraping by trying to make it. Some people get in there and get in the gray areas and make some money and do what they need to do. I don't really, me personally, I don't aim that stuff at me. I'm just telling you about the design of things so that you can get the concept, how to get rid of everything so you don't regret it later. Part of the stuff you got to get rid of is your old memory of how things are working. Like if you're constantly, it's man, I can't get by because the man got his foot on my neck. That ain't gonna work too good for that. That's just a complaint. You know, they got them little grenades, and you put it on your desk, and it says complaint department. Pull here, and you pull the pin. That's where that's going. That ain't going nowhere. If you somebody, I work hard every day for corporate America, and I just can't get to the next level. They won't let me. Okay, that's not gonna help you. Whatever thing you come up with to complain about ain't gonna help you. You gotta come up with solutions, and that's all I'm talking about. Solution-based thinking is where all of us need to be. I don't care what color you is, but I can't sit there and sugarcoat the systems that are over all of us. Now, I will say this for all of us listening. In America, white people, green people, orange people, everybody paying taxes. Yeah. So, colonial system at work. Oh, what was it? What was that in Boston? Where the Tea Party thing, where they had where the pilgrims and all them, whoever they came over here, they were protesting the tax on the tea from Great Britain. Y'all trying to tax us on tea? You see where this is going? That's what they do now. That's the same system. That's the same entity disguised itself over here as a different entity, so that you can't never want to go over there and touch the true entity while they raking everything off the top. Day and night while you sleep, the sun never set on the empire. Britain is still raking it in. I think when the Queen was alive, I'm sure it's more money now. There's some estimate like she make like 91 million an hour. $91 million an hour come in from all the conquests all over the world. So there you go. That's the system. If you white, you in it. You're gonna pay taxes too. If you brown, you paying taxes. Or if you ain't paying taxes, you ain't making enough money to pay them kind of taxes. So that's a bad thing too. If you Hispanic, you might be in it because your culture lets you live different. When you first come to America, you can hustle up. You be staying in the same house. People, Americans, like, oh, 50 people in the house. They all ride in the same car. Haha, they just over there with a hot plate with some tortillas, drinking Coca-Colas while they working on that roof on that house all day in the sun. And then 7 years later, Juan got his own company, raking the money in. Juan just bought a farm in Mexico with all that money he saved in America, living in that house with 50 other people, right? All piled in the same van, right? All of them Juans and Jesuses, they living fat now. 7 years later, Americans still, yo, I don't even know how it ends gonna meet. Yo, this is horrible. My 401k is going down. This is all this stuff, right? Because the program, they set programs out for white people. They set the program out for brown people. They set the program out for foreigners. They set the program out for everybody up in that spot. You have to start acknowledging that. Don't be mad at me, the deliverer of the message. Be mad at the architect. Who's the cat on the Matrix? He came out, the architect. What did he look like? Anybody remember? Okay, you remember the movie The Matrix? You got Morpheus. You got what's his face, Neo, and you got certain characters in there. On one of the Matrix movies, the Oracle, she was meeting with she met with him too. She met with the architect. So, interestingly, and y'all know the movie The Matrix, that was made by, that whole concept was created by a brown woman. And then when she gave that story to some movie producer, they went on and ran with it, left her out, went and made all them movies, made all them billions, and then she didn't get nothing for years till she went to court. It took some time, and then she finally got compensated. Go look her up. Who's the creator of The Matrix movies and all that stuff? The true creator. You'll see it's a brown woman. So her putting the Oracle as a brown woman in the movie, that's so interesting. But what's funny is they also put the architect, dude in a suit, European look, gray hair, gray beard, or whatever he had, as a Caucasian man, older dude. The symbolism there should like shock you into, yo, for real? Because they use real stuff at times when you don't know it's the real stuff, just so they can, as a disclaimer, you can't come back and say, I didn't know. At some point you gonna know, because your subconscious is like saw them images and you already know. So the architect, being the white guy, he's the designer of all of the stuff. Now, it didn't say he's the creator. He's just the architect. So, you got an entity that if there's such a word, architected This overlay that you live in right now, they architected that. They use people to set those systems up systematically so that everybody has. You could be poor. You got a level for you. Yeah, we got SSI. We got what's the name of the food stamps? They don't do that no more. They call it something else. Used to be called food stamps. Now they call it whatever they creatively turned it into. Now it's another term they use for that. So you gotta keep up with this stuff, and all in an effort to free yourself. I told you in another life, you're not going. White people, black people, brown people, green, orange, yellow, Asians, everybody in America and other parts of the world where they got the same similar system. You're never gonna be free from in your body. The bondage part, they got that rap. That's a rap. They got your body. That's why they had that movie a long time ago called Return of the Body Snatchers. The Return. They've been here before? Yeah. So they got your body. That shouldn't be your concern though. What you can't afford to do is let them have your supercomputer. You might call it your soul. You might call it your third or whatever you want to name it. Yo, it's a free realm. You can get outside of the box of control by naming stuff what you want to call it. Will anybody else know what you're talking about? Probably not, but who cares? You know what you're talking about. Call it what you want. Why a car got to be called a car? Why can't I call it a papu or a yucca or whatever I want to call it? That's what I want to call it. That's what I'm going to call it. If you don't understand my language, that's on you. You got to learn my language. Get on my level then. You can roll like that, or you can assimilate into the colonial system. That's okay. That's what the end of the world looks like. Is everybody having a thumb, the colonial system having its thumb on everybody. First through they got it working through the language, letting people learn English all over the world. Now you see, I said English. I'm not talking about every language. English. The English is from England, and England is over there under the control of Britain. The Lord of Commons, the House of this and the House of that, where this is the land of titleism, where they still have lords, knights, they still have gods, they still have mayors and governors, and they got their own deities. So they got their own religion. And at one time, their religion was intertwined with Rome. And when they started having rifts, they split off. And you go back in the stories of things and his stories and go research some of that stuff, and you'll see what the Holy Wars was about. You'll see what all of this stuff that they show in the movies now to keep overlaying. See, they got to keep reinforcing their prominence in your mind by creating these there's a lot of Knights movies out there on Netflix. Knights, this one, that one, all these different, if you go back in the time of, like, say, that's why American history start at 1492-ish. Ain't nothing nowhere before 1450. You can't hardly find nothing. Nuffing. Why is that? Why can't you find anything 1400 back? Almost as if America started when Christopher Columbus didn't even get here. But they got that written down as documented in English. And when you find out other people got information on what happened that same year after you conquer them, you burn all of that information so nobody can find any other history. Okay? Then you move people from one part of the country to another part so they can't keep their culture into. Yo, this has been going on for some time now, and no matter who you are listening to me, you have to get that that's what transpired. You're looking at paraphrase history through the lens of programming. They do that so you don't go back and try to uncover anything. If they give you so much information about the topic, this really exists, does that exist, If they give you enough of it in front without telling you the whole thing, you don't go looking for no more of it. That's why when people read the Bible, I'm meddling with folk now. I'm getting to meddle with you. You need to get meddled with. You need to get handled properly. So I'm gonna do some more chipping away. I'm using my axe. I'm chipping that wood away. All right, timber. So look. So if you're a person reading the Bible, but you never went past English to uncover the other information that exists, or go looking for any other books that may have existed even in that type of Bible, you really can't quote those scriptures. I said scripts like a movie, like a pre-made idea of scriptures. They showing you in the movies, the actors got to read this. Why do they call them scripts? Why did they call it something else? Why do they call it scripts? Read your script, man. Stay on script. Okay. I didn't make it up, so that's just scriptures, scripts, and whatever. They kind of got them too. But anyway, so the reason why I'm pointing at this is because this is a big area of, I think, confusion, where we get stuck a lot of times in a zone of non-movement. We're not making nothing spiritually move, and we ain't making nothing physically move the way it could be for us, because we're waiting for what's in the book to take place. Now, I didn't say that what you read in the book isn't true to you or not real for you or anybody else. What I'm simply stating is, if you go do anything else in the world, like if I'm gonna prove the point. We in a debate, but I got the microphone. Y'all know how to mic, but y'all can type stuff down there. If we say, for example, I have the book, and say I have a program, How to Make You Rich, and I speak it with my mouth, and I tell you that's what I'm gonna do for you. The way we programmed in America is, the first thing you're gonna, yo man, can you send me some paperwork? I need to see what you're talking about. Can you write that down for me? What you're doing is due diligence. You're investigating further to see if this voice cooperates with the stuff based on what you are programmed to associate. I need to comprehend this better with, right? So you ask for the paperwork. Well, when you read the Bible, when you read the Quran, when you read the different, they got all these codex books that the Bibles and the Quran and all these books had come from. There's so many different books prior to the actual Bible from the 1611 King James, okay? There's other versions before that that you might need to know about, because if you read this version and you found out there was versions before, wouldn't you want to go check that out? Just like you want to check out my paperwork on my company to see if I'm an actual business. Yo, where's your business license? I need to see if you're real. See, when it come to money, then we like, yo, where's your paperwork? But when it come to religious stuff, oh, this is cool. I just read it, I'm good. I read the one book and that's good. Now, all I'm saying is, do your due diligence on everything, because that's an area we get stopped in all the time. So I don't mean to ruffle people's feathers away from their outlook on God, or I do my research and I know where the word originated from based on the research that's available to me to go find. But at least I did that. I know where the word Lord comes from. I know who created the word, the title. I know certain things. So if you're going to serve a God, you would say the God. But in the world, there's a whole bunch of gods. There's deities. Those are gods too, that people created to be over people groups as the aspiring thing to look up to, which is supposed to be your higher self. But anyway, so look, watch this. Flow with me for a minute. And I'll probably skip a whole bunch of details, but I'm flowing. Just flow with me. The word God should be the demonstration of anything that gives life. Life. L-I-F-E. Life. Okay? So, water, life giver. What you doing after 3-4 days without water? It's a wrap. Kidney shut down, kaput. Air, sun, probably the moon, but the sun for sure. Semen, fluids that create life, and whatever's in the woman, whatever that's called. These are life creating things. That would be called the God level, that creates life. Okay, so if one of those things, that's why the old tribal people be bagging on that, because they had to get rid of that power. They had to get rid of, so you say the Native Indians. So there's a couple of different Indian levels. You got Native Americans, then you got the Native Indians. Well, go look up the definition of the word native. It's not what you think. The word aboriginal means in the land. You've been there. Native means you was just born there. So if you call yourself a Native American, no offense to you, but go look up the definition of the word. I didn't write it. So native groups and aboriginal groups are two different things. So you'd have to start gathering your mind in such a way where if you see the old movies, you're like, oh, Father Spirit, and they talking to a tree, or they was talking to the wind that you can't see, or they was talking to an animal. Great Spirit, thank you for allowing us to nourish our bodies with, or whatever. They wasn't saying it in English, but in the movies, that's all we understand, so it got to be in English. They was talking their tongue, I'm sure, but to describe it, using English. So they would be great spirits. So then as a Christian, you would go, oh man, they are so lost without Jesus, so lost without the Lord. But you really not gathering the two components. They're two different systems. You got the original earthbound, natural, aboriginal spirituality, let's say, versus the English from England, printed in Cambridge through the scholars and the architects of the words that are in the book. Okay? You got two different systems going on. So you have to figure out which one your ancestors is from. Now, if your people are from the Caucasus Mountains region, and you trace that back all the way, you'd be called Caucasian. That's who, I didn't name the mountains, but that's why a lot of white people love the cold. It's in their DNA. And then brown people don't like the cold, like a little warmer weather. It's in your DNA. It's just in there naturally. That's why it's like that. So you can't change your DNA strands. Well, at least not. I mean, you could if architects come up with different things to pump into you. They probably change through food. You can probably architect some DNA movement and change some things for the future, but you personally can't go inside your body and change your DNA. So you actually have certain things in your DNA that attribute to how you act and behave. Some group already knew this. So to infiltrate that area, to make sure no one can rise up against the conqueror, you gotta brainwash people into the systematic chain of events that you need to continually play out to control them. So in America, it's like diabolical because they got Hispanic programming, Caucasian programming, brown people programming, foreigner programming. They got all these modules working at the same time. So this is why each group, like Rodney King, hey, can't we just get along? Okay, Rodney King getting beat down in the street by a group of white officers. Now, a lot of brown people that they call themselves black, okay, whatever. You say tomato, I say tomato. Same thing. We're referencing the same. So, got angry and burned the city down just about because of what they saw on the video of this happening. you, it was nighttime in South Central LA. You're like, what does this have to do, Major, with what the actual topic is? You know, I ramble, so let me ramble, man. Muhammad Ali said, rumble, young man, rumble. Major Gardner said, ramble, Major, ramble. All right, so fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee, rumble. Young man, rumble. Look, South Central LA. Somebody videoing this with a video camera. Happened to be two foreigners from another country, Caucasian looking, I think Germany, they was from somewhere. They the one who got the right. Now, critical thinking has to apply right now. If you don't, you in the zombie category. So what is a couple from another country, Caucasian looking, doing in South Central LA late at night to be able to have a camcorder ready to video? Or I guess they was in the hood camcording lifestyles of gangs or something. Come on, they was there on purpose. So if you ask me, that could have, based on the intel that was made public of where the footage came from, so that's not even a real event to me. That's not even a real event. Now, Rodney King got some money, blah blah blah. He ended up dead, right? I think he died some strange way. So did Oswald back there with Kennedy in them years in Dallas, Texas. All the people on the grassy knoll standing along. Everybody had a nice little car wreck at some point in life, or slipped on a banana peel in the shower, and they ain't there no more. So that's how that stuff works. The colonial system's a bitch. It is a monster. So you just gotta really, if you want some kind of change, you gotta be about it for yourself. That's the whole goal of this conversation, is to shake and rattle your cage with some basic information so you can wake up a little bit and go, yo, what's the most important thing to me right now? It should be you. You say, oh, it's my children. Nope, because if you ain't here to take care of them, then who gonna take care of them? Oh, I don't want to be selfish. You see, they done tricked us into believing that selfishness exists. Maybe some forms of English word again, evil. Maybe they call it some, the word for, okay, let me show you. Let me prove the point. The word that we use for I'm going to say mother trucker. I said mother trucker. There's another letter you put in there to form a certain kind of word in America that they say, right? I'm going to just say mother trucker. In Vietnam, they call that same thing do mai mai. Whole different word, don't even sound nowhere close to what I said in English, do mai mai. And if you go to another country, they call it something else and something else and something else. So I guess my whole point is, if you think you seeing straight, you probably seeing crooked, because you didn't go do enough due diligence to go research information elsewhere to find out the origin, or there might be multiple origins of things, but you need to know that each people group got their origin, each group got their culture. The only place that's like America is America. Ain't no other place like this on the earth. So you need to know that. You're like, oh, that's a good thing. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's why the crosshairs are lined up there quite often, because of its inert capability to screw other lands up. Its inert ability to infiltrate places and, without actually being there, control everything that happens there. So if you want to talk about diabolical stuff, Great Britain, through the countries that it holds, is a trip. Like, so, and that's not me saying that. That's what's going on. Go do some little research. Look, them governments put the information out. They got to do it. There's a natural law, and if they don't disclose the information, they can hide it. They can tuck it up under something else and make you think it say this while it really say that. That's how a lawyer can get you out of something, by using a certain phrase that you didn't know, and it costs you $2,500 for him to go in there and say grand jour. Oh, okay. You should have said that in the first place. Case dismissed. And you looking at the lawyer like, what did he say? It don't matter. You off, right? You off the hook. Oh, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. $2,500. C'est grand, c'est jour. That's all he said, and I'm off the. Man, yeah, that's how that works. That's how the whole thing works. It's a system. Ain't got nothing to do with, somebody caring about your feelings getting hurt. What the mob always say, it's just business. Ain't nothing personal, bruh. It's just business. Well, they didn't say bruh because they didn't use that term, but you know what I'm saying. Just business. So that's how they look at everything. That's how the whole thing is working, how it's been developed. Prior to you being born, the wheels was already turning. Yo, they was making cars in the early 1900s, right? Do you think somebody just woke up and started making some damn cars that morning? They just woke up and Henry Ford was like, I'm tired of this horse and buggy. It's too bumpy. I think hey, Billy, let's go out in the shed back here and make us an automobile today. Come on, man. For real? Started making cars in 1904, blah, 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 blah. Yo, so how many years in advance, critically think with me for a minute, how many years in advance were they already working on automobiles and the systems that would shortly come after? Wait a minute. King Leopold of Belgium went into the Congo in the I might be off on this, 1860 or 1880s. Why did he go in there? To kill off over 10 million Africans in the Congo? Oh, what? Because they had a bunch of rubber trees everywhere. Rubber? What do you need rubber for? Are they mass producing condoms at this time? Probably not. Was they needing rubber for I don't know, kickballs or basketballs? Nah, they wasn't playing basketball yet. Could it have been that in 1860 or whenever he invaded the Congo, he already had a seat at the round table, just like them groups they have, world leader groups, and his piece was, you're gonna produce the rubber. That's your job. That's your MOS. Go in there, wherever the rubber is in the world, we need some, because we gotta put these cars on the street in a minute. And them wooden wheels that we came up with, they ain't gonna work too. We gotta have another substance. So think about that for a minute. Rubber trees. Why would you need the Congo back in the 18th? Why is Belgium one of the quietly spoken about richest countries in the world? Nobody even talks about it. Go study King Leopold. Go study, anybody you want. Even Henry Ford, early 1900, I think he went into Cuba or Puerto Rico, one of them, and set up a whole base. He bought part of the island over there. Henry Ford. You got to research where Henry get his money from. How was he already wealthy enough to go buying half a country in Puerto Rico or Cuba? I think it could have been Cuba. I can't remember. One of them two. Set up a base, set up a factory, because they got rubber trees, and he was going to start his own rubber production so he didn't have to deal with Leopold and them no more. Belgium. See, they always trying to one up each other. They trying to always get an extra penny on the dollar all the time. So that's why these treaties and treaties of treaties of treaties be getting violated and stuff all the time, and they never hold any weight. Because that's what it was designed to do. Not, I got you off of your garden you just grew. You think I'm cutting the front grass? No, I'm taking your vegetables. You watching out the front, I got you in the back. Treaties, that's what that's for. That's exactly the biggest power. Then you can enforce them treaties through coercion and through, but all the tactics used to put the treaty in place, that's all. Just think about it. How you got control over a whole nother hemisphere because of some paper you wrote up. You got control over a whole nother hemisphere because some paper you wrote up and printed and gave to the people to use as, this is how you live. This is your earth. This is your sun. This is your water. I am your trust What does it say? In God we what? On the money? I'm your heir. I'm your creator. I'm your sustenance. Because you can't get nothing without this. Okay? That's what that's all for. To remind you, to remind me who the architect or who your true God is, if your mindset and your programming allows you to stay in that place. It should be you instead of it. It should be you instead of that. So if you can't get with you long enough to reason with yourself, to figure out who you really is and what you really capable of, then I guess you have to use all of the other features that have been made available to you through programming. You don't have no out. But if you look in and go in, that's your out. That's all is to say that one thing right there. You go inside to get out. You don't go out to get in, because now you're compromised. Wish somebody would have told me that at 4 years old, 5, 6, I've been trained. Well, hard to hold anybody accountable. They started pulling the wool over everybody's eyes way back when. So, the best way to get people to comply with your wishes is to give them the appearance or the illusion of fitting in with everything. So it's a great plan. They really did a doozy on humanity with this, y'all. I'm talking about everybody that's listening to me right now. They did a doozy on the whole world. So and just so you know, the stuff that if you're in the United States or some region that's governed like that, most of the rules and what I say, most of all of your culture has been given to you through the accumulation of cultural items taken from other societies. Germany has a big influence on how America works present day. Hitler came up with the 40-hour work week, off on the weekends. Go research. That was for the Germans. Came up with paternal leave and kind of like they didn't call it 401k, but kind of a system to reward people for putting in the work. They could build up credit over time, and then one day you get that credit and now you kind of saved it away. All of this stuff is attributed, those systems, to the place that's supposed to be the evilest, ruler that ever lived the earth. And then my question is, if you actually knew what he was fighting against, and then you compared that with but the wool's pulled over your eyes, so you can't see it. But if you go back to London, England, mate, if you go back to that region, the banking hub of the world, and you know anything about banking and who controls that, or who appears to have the name and the stronghold on that region or that realm, the person who said, I don't care about your people, your president, your society. All I care about is controlling your money. As long as I can do that, I'm running the world. So them groups, that group, you go back to that region, and you find out what was going on with Germany at the time. See, Germany had already been crushed and ruined economically, brought to ruins. Think about Afghanistan. Think about Kuwait and stuff like that present day, how disastrous it looks now because of how they know how to, by the page, by the book, turn a country inside out. It's a playbook they use. So if you find out through research what Hitler, how he came into power. Now, I don't know if he was a plant or not. He could have been a double triple spy for all I know. So I can't even verify this stuff because I heard that he actually lived till he was 96 years old off some island off of Austria where he's from, somewhere way out in the middle of the ocean. He just died. He lived to be an old man, faked his death and everything. But if you go back and look at actually what he supposedly got the German people uh, in position to do, because they were in ruins. Like after the first war they had, the whole country just tore up from the flow up, just like people just dying on the streets. Plumbing ain't working, ain't no sewage. I mean, it was like the Black Plague swept up through there. You know what I'm saying? So when he came on the scene in about 2 years under his leadership, he auto-corrected all of that stuff, got these factories back up running, went in there and got these new guidelines and rules and laws in place to make it to where like little kids couldn't work until a certain age, couldn't do no more mining children's labor and stuff like that. He did a whole bunch of stuff. So a lot of the labor laws is even generated from Germany that you living with right now in America, for real. Go check that out. So he was doing all of that, right? Getting his country back together. But guess who he was getting it back from? Them same cats that made the quotes. I don't care about what president you got in there, what kind of this, what kind of that you do. I don't even, what kind of church you got. I just need to control and print your money. And then I'm good. Them same people, them banker people, right? That's who he was fighting against. So then you go, wait a minute. Now, if you are someone who considers yourself to be a J to the E to the W to the S, or put an ISH. If you consider yourself to be J to the E, to the W to the I to the S to the H, just know that the word ish means not full, like you're partly. So he was fighting against those people. Those people aren't even the real people that any literature is even pointing to. Only the literature that they wrote and made pointed to themselves. So those are imposters anyway. And I don't mean that in a negative way. That's just what it is, like literally. So you have to go back before that to even find the actual people that were the rightful people to call that. But mind you, there was no letter J all the way back then when this all started. So you would use the letter U to pronounce that name anyway. You-ish, or you, Yahweh, or Yah, whatever. It would be like a Yah sound, okay? So you really need to think about that kind of stuff, because that's like real talk. Like if you change a letter in my name, instead of a M, you put a N, a N sound instead of a M. Now you're calling me Najer. Am I going to respond to you? No, because that's not my name. I'm not going to respond to that. I'm be like, what's wrong with this person? That ain't me. You talking to me? Like that. You don't even know me. So that's the way names work. But with that time in Germany, you gotta, hey, everyone, somebody throw something. Okay, cool. So Germany was trying to get itself out from under the very people that tried to bury it. Why did they try to do that? Because Germany had a seat at the table too, just like Belgium. And yeah, it seemed like the more deeper I get into this stuff, the more my signal kind of mess up. But Germany was the one who had orchestrated most of the round table talks. And then the other groups, yeah, I'm sure. Okay, looks like I'm having some buffering issues. Am I back now, or am I buffering again, or what's going on? Somebody tell me. But all I can see is my screen looks clean. I'm gonna keep going. So I need a fan on. So Germany was in at the table. The other group said, yo, let's cut them out. Man, we don't need them. He came up with the idea, but yo, we don't need them. Let's snatch his bag. Let's snatch his bag. So that's what they did. They snatched Germany's bag from the table. So why wouldn't Germany be angry? Why wouldn't Germany want to go to war now? They got their bag snatched, and they the one that came up with the idea. So if you look at what happened through that lens, now everything is totally different for you. Your concept of what doesn't happen. Every time you see a movie about him, you got to ask the question, why they keep making these same movies about the same dude? How many more times do you have to remind us that he was evil, right? That's not the point. Anytime your enemy rose his hand against you in an effort to squash you and did a pretty good job at the attempt, you have to forever, ever, 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 never, ever be the one who says this is the evil. So you see, the evil always calls the other people evil, even though they were just trying to save themselves from the evil. That's how it works. I didn't make it up. That's just how it is. Go research it yourself. Do some due diligence. I'm paraphrasing a lot of stuff. I'm not quoting from a book or anything. So it's just I'm dabbling in, basic origins of text and stuff like that. So every time you see a swastika, you think of skinheads, or you think of this, that, the other. Actually, the swastika is the global symbol for peace, prosperity, and life. Go check it out. Why did they have that on their uniforms? You just got asked, like, oh, well, they used that too. They could have used any symbol in the world to put on their people's uniforms. Why would they use one that nobody else in the world was paying attention to, except for those Asiatic countries all over here that still use this symbol all throughout Vietnam? If you go to where people are buried, you see the symbol on the graves everywhere. Why would they put that on the resting places of their ancestors? Because that's the symbol of peace, prosperity, and well-being. Even in your transition out of here, they use that symbol. But now, where we see, I could wear that symbol over here, everybody would look at me like, how do you know that? Yo, my man. They wouldn't say it like that because they'd be speaking Vietnamese like, oh, they would be saying something like that. But they would see that symbol and be like, yo, thank you. Like, back to you. Peace, prosperity, and well-being, right? So now all over the world, based on whose hype you believe, that's that symbol, that's evil. You got brown people in America. So that's the denying the power thereof, looking godly but denying the power. So there's power that exists outside of your book knowledge. There's power that exists outside of your viewpoint of things. There's power that exists way far outside of your church, your synagogue, your temple, whatever it is. There's power out there for you to obtain, but the whole two-step with a twist move is to make you believe it ain't. It's that simple. I'm gonna show you this hand. Wow, this hand got the knife in it. You still looking over here. I come over there, pop, got you right in the forehead. That's the whole game. So that's why I keep making statements on my videos like, what was the topic? The great, I forgot what I titled something, but I'll come up with it in a minute. Basically, they using all these fear tactics, the great reset thing, the great this, the great that, the great this. You will own nothing and be happy and all that stuff. Well, to be honest, all they're trying to do is scare you, because if you didn't own anything, wealthy people don't own nothing either. That's the whole goal of how to get wealthy, is don't have nothing in your name. You don't own nothing, but you got access to everything. That's the true combination. That's how you get wealth. That's how you utilize it. That's how you parlay it. You don't own that. So really, they scaring you with words that they actually live by. That's really how they got all the wealth they have, is by not owning nothing. Who came up with the laws of how to evade taxes and the gray areas and stuff that Trump uses and politicians use to not pay taxes, and then they want to make you mad at him because he didn't pay taxes on $50 billion. He ain't supposed to. The whole goal is to own nothing but have access to everything. So who put the loopholes there for you to do that? Why ain't he in jail then? If it's illegal, it's just a moral thing they trying to point at people to make you think bad of. Oh, them rich people always. Okay, if you was in that, you just made $50 million that month. You mean to tell me you gonna pay 50% tax on that money, and you did all of that to stack that money like that and get that coming in? Then you just go, oh, okay, here you go. Sorry, let me do my paperwork and give you 50. Let me give you 50%. But you made a loophole for me to follow that says I can only give you 10%. Oh, I'm gonna figure out how to get you 10% then, right? That's common sense. That's all that's going on. So they got all of us moving and grooving to all of these different vibrations, and ain't none of them the true vibration, ain't none of them the true way, ain't none of them this or that. They all just ways. Keep you busy, keep me busy. From your designer clothes, from your designer hand-me-downs, hand-me-down shoes and hand-me-down clothes, hand-me-down flip-flops, hand-me-down clothes, all of this stuff, man. It's all designed to keep you in the rat race, the so-called rat race. You ever seen any rats racing? I don't even know where that came from. All these different terms they using, we using, it's using, and all of us actually being used against all of us. So when you figure out that tongue twister, somebody let me know. I don't even know what I said, but just know that you are the one responsible for you first. Just like the airlines say in the instruction before the plane take off. If the oxygen mask drop in an extreme event, you put your mask on first, then put the mask on for the other person next to you, even if that's your child. Why? Because if you pass out, they done anyway. So that's the whole point. You have to focus on you first if you want everything else to follow. Don't think it's selfishness. You've been taught that too. Now, true selfishness is you see somebody starving on the street and you got a chicken wing and you don't break it in half and like, yo, at least I got this. Let me go help this. You know what I'm saying? I can get another one. That would be true selfishness. That would be evil, if there is such a thing as it exists in our mind as a program. But you know what I'm saying. Because like I said, you turn the word evil around and it spells live or live. It's in reverse. God spells dog when you spell it the opposite way. Words, take the S off, put it on the front, pronounces the word swords. So all kind of tongue twisters going on here, all kind of things happening. You just gotta focus in on fixing yours first. After that, the right stuff will come your way. So if you want your prayers answered, first you have to have the right formula to comprehend what you're actually doing and what's actually going to come. Because if you don't have any confidence on what you're asking for actually coming, it's just wishful thinking at that point. That's why prayers don't get answered. Prayer is meditated, focused thought and the expectation that it's going to occur. No matter which entity's name you call to make it happen, your expectation of it happening is what it's just like the placebo effect. The doctor tell you this pill gonna cure your cancer. Stage 4, you about to tap out. Take this pill. We just had 50 people in one day came back from the dead. Bam. For real? Oh, let me get that. 1 week later, no more stage 4 cancer. How? Expectation. Your power is within. Your power is not without. The doctor had to trick you because that's what you believe the power is out there. So he had to trick you to believe in this is the power, but it was really you that actually believed that the thing was going to work. That's what healed you or cured you. Does it mean that's going to happen every time? Nope. It just means on these cases that it has happened, it has happened. You need to know about it. So you can't call life like play by play, but what you can do is after the play, analyze it and say, I don't like that play. I ain't doing that play no more. Let me write another play down. I don't like that. I want to do the flea flicker. I ain't trying to get sacked in the back, in the backfield. So you don't like getting sacked in the backfield, change your plays. If you didn't know there was plays to be made, start there. Start deleting files, start getting rid of stuff. and then start applying the new stuff after you've gotten rid of some old stuff. That's the only way the hard drive is going to function halfway decent, until you can get enough of the junk files and spam and all that stuff out of the trash bin, free up some memory to input the right program to run the computer more efficiently. That's the only way it's going to work. But anyway, let me see what y'all talking about. I've been running my mouth long enough. If any of this is making any sense to you, or hey, let's ante up. If any of this is making dollars to you, we don't need to be making cents. We need dollars, right? If any of this is working for you, let me know in the comments so I know at least I'm hitting some frequencies out there that's receiving what I'm saying, and that I didn't ramble too far for you not to gather the idea or the right concept. Are y'all getting this? I need to know. If you don't know, now you know, baby, baby. Okay, let me see. Am I still buffering? Am I still good? What's up? Ray, I see that one. Major's telling 100% truth. But this time I want you to spell, next time I want you to spell it T-R-U-F-F, truth. We are not supposed to worry about the future, have preparations, but then be done. Trust the Lord, read your Bible, and eat every word, and pray for knowledge and wisdom. God is with us, fear not. Well, I like your, I like that. Okay, cool. That's what's up. I like that, y'all. Some of the stuff I'm reading, I enjoy reading, even if it's stuff that I no longer agree with. I still enjoy listening to y'all say it, or excuse me, type it, text it, or whatever, because the wheels are turning, and everything is moving forward. So I like that idea. I like the responses. I'm glad y'all receptive. Truth, yep. I'm glad, Monica. Now I appreciate all of y'all's information. Make sure y'all come back on this live and blow the comments up after I post it. Wait like 5-6 minutes. Come back and blow them comments up, because y'all got information. Y'all be teaching people this coming to watch later. Some of this stuff y'all know. So just know that look, it ain't just me. It's your power within too. Just because this ain't your actual channel, and it's not mine either. They got the keys to this thing. So but just because it's not your channel, so to speak, your energy reigns supreme no matter where you place it, as long as it's being placed in an effective place. It also reigns supreme when you place it in a negative place. And so we can create negativity, we can create positivity. It's all up to user discretion. It literally is up to your discretion or mine, what we do with this thing. So I've chosen to not doom and gloom it. I've chosen to try to live every moment like, yo, this is awesome until I get up out of here, right? And I've also chosen to start going down the path of, yo, you're not even supposed to be here, but as long as you want to be here. Why are we fighting to stay here longer? So that's what I'm working on now. It's like, yo, I need to be the one that's saying, yeah, I'm done with this spot. I'm ready to transfer to someone. Hey, beam me up, Scotty. You know what I'm saying? You got Buddhist monks up in the mountains. That's what they've been doing for the last 40 years. Practicing to have the control to leave their body before the body ages and breaks down, and then makes you hurt, and then you leave in a negative energy position. So they're doing stuff for reasons that we don't know, and we just think something crazy. Oh, they worshiping idols and stuff. Hey, they got some. Whatever they read, they doing it. The stuff that in America we read in the religious text, very few doing any of that. I ain't saying nobody really doing the book. So I'm one of them people. Don't quote me the book unless I can see you doing stuff in the book. Like I watch you and because you ain't even supposed to be talking. You ain't supposed to be quoting no scriptures. You supposed to be the scripture. You supposed to be the embodiment of what it is you believe and who you believe. You supposed to be that on the street. You supposed to be that On Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Alexander O'Neal. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You remember that song? When I think about you. Okay, I can't sing, but anyway, for those of you that are old enough, you know about that tune. So if you ain't doing the thing, yo, it's like a chicken wing, flapping around, ain't even flying. You know chickens can't fly but a little hop, skip, and a jump. So don't be a chicken wing, because you ain't gonna get nowhere too far. So that's how I look at it. I appreciate y'all. And somebody asked me how long I'll be back in the States at some point here shortly. Handle some things. Been over here for, it'll be a total of 3 months. So I'll probably be back and forth, because we're doing some things over here, developing some things. Just like I started 7 years ago, I'm still working towards specific things that I want to see happen for me. And then when it happens for me, it happens for my kids in America, it happens for my little baby over here, it happens for y'all and everybody else that's watching the thing. You know what I'm saying? I love to create opportunities for people to thrive. So that's what I'm over here doing. And anybody who wants to hook up with me later, ever come to Vietnam and do a tour, whatever, you know, just say something in the comments. I'll send you my email, my secure email, that can't nobody hack and stuff. And you can email me there and ask questions and blah, blah, blah. But I am very busy right now with the business in America from all the weather events. So if y'all could, you just don't expect an instantaneous response from me. But I will get with you. I try to answer. I try to put the little heart on every comment. I read y'all's comments and stuff, and I try to be interactive with that, just so, one, if I can help anybody further, I'm there, and then two, somebody can help me too. Shoot, I'm on here now, but tomorrow I might be making a live. Yo, I need some help. Everybody, y'all need to, you do this, do that. Send me some help, right? So it works both ways. It's supposed to be reciprocal. I'm not gonna go no further. I think I put out a lot of information, and I'm tired because I just preached like 4 or 5 sermons, all in the same Sunday morning service. Ha ha ha, very funny. But you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I appreciate all of y'all. What the pho? You like pho? Okay. And for all y'all Americans, they call it pho. It's pronounced pho. That's the soup with the noodles. Put chicken, they put fish in there, whatever. It's called pho. Pho. It's not pho. It's not like pho, like it looks. It's pho. So anyway, trying to catch some comments real quick. Crystal Anderson, love it. You have multiple businesses? Yes, I do. Multiple businesses, multiple streams. Now, let me do this. Since this was such a long live and I got your attention, I didn't plan this, just like my live is not planned. Y'all know I come up with a title and then I just start spitting. Like I say, we in the studio right now cooking. We're cooking, dropping bars, right? Dropping bars, boy. In there dropping some stuff. If anyone here, so my channel is monetized, but they ain't loving on me right now. So, you know, I get like 23 cents at the end of every month. I'm just joking. It's a little bit more than that, but it equates to about that. So this isn't monetized. My time here speaking isn't paid for by anybody, so on and so forth. But what I do pitch is myself. So, and I don't do it on every live, but I was like, this one, I was like, you tell people, because, you know, you get additional clients because you tell them what you're doing. So if any of y'all have a business wanting to get to the next level, if any of you guys are wanting to start a business, and you still on the fence, riding that fence, but hurting right now, you on that fence, you won't get off that fence, right? And you need that coaching, the motivation, you need that exchange of power through experience. I do consulting. So what I do is I do 4 1-hour blocks, and we spread it out like 1 week at a time. If you can handle it, 2 days in 1 week, 2 days the next week. And I do business consulting. My background, heavy real estate development, uh, uh, also into the fire safety business, security, private security business. I was one of those 2008ers that didn't get the memo that they about to shut the club down, and I got stuck with like 26 properties at the time. And so you can imagine, you got a payment to the bank for 26 properties. It don't matter what at that point, it don't even matter if it's $300-400 a month or $500 a month each property. You got to come up with some jack every month to sustain that. So I was one of the ones who didn't get the text message, which we wasn't texting back then. My pager didn't go off. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh dang, they about to shut the club down tomorrow. Oh, let me sell all this stuff. So I got stuck with $1.8 million in losses. Ruined. It took me about 10 years to get back. Seriously, it took about 10 years to get back up the momentum after that hit. I lost, I exchanged. Now I can say exchange. For layman terms, I say the word lost. But you never really lose anything here. All it does is transfers, just to hop, skip, and jump up to present day terminology. Don't think you ever lose anything. All it does is transfers from here to there. Energy can only transfer. It never dissipates, and it can never be destroyed. It can only be transferred. Okay? The same energy that goes through these power lines already exists in the atmosphere somewhere. So it can only be transferred. But anyway, so if you need any assistance with how to, I got a couple of clients right now, six-figure income training and coaching. You can throw out any type of business you want to create. I'll work it with you, and you will be able to do that business, and you will succeed as long as you do the steps necessary for you to do so. So a lot of people just need the motivation and the coaching and the confidence, instilling of confidence for you. That's all you missing. You just need a coach. I need to hit you in your chest, punch you upside your, hit you in the side of the neck. Chop. Wake up. Let's get this boat moving, man. You've been floating around here in the ocean, bobbing around with the waves. I'm trying to put the motor on the back of here for you. I'm trying to put the rudder on here in the engine. That's my job. Put your engine on with the rudder system so you steer and go where you need to get. All right, that's it. So if you need my assistance, hit me in the comments. Is Major Safety Team at ProtonMail.com. Major Safety Team. That I'm plugging myself. I'm brand cordoning myself right now. I'm plugging my brand. I'm old. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't call me asking for a bunch of paperwork. You're not going to get it. You're going to be on video conference with me, and I'm going to be coaching you, and I'm going to be having you write this information down on a pad of paper. You can date it and organize it how you want, but that's my old school style of doing things. I don't do paperwork and all of this stuff to keep you residually focused and confidence driven towards paper. No, you're going to be the generator of paperwork for your people to go make you money off of residual money. But I'm not going to sit here and waste a bunch of time. What I need to share with you, we're going to get done in 4 hours. And you're going to be up and running when you go put yourself in a position to be up and running. I'm going to help you get started without investing all of this money you think it's going to take to do your dream. I'm going to help you with insurance. I'm going to help you with a whole bunch of things. A commercial insurance that you didn't know existed for around $40 a month, $5-6 million worth of liability coverage, so on and so forth. I'm going to help you with a lot of information so that you can bypass jacking around for 2 or 3 years of dabbling and then get the thing going. Because if that's the issue, we're going to cut out all that's the issue and go straight to the horse's mouth kind of thing. All right, let's try this again. Every time I say my email, the Wi-Fi goes out. Major Safety Team at ProtonMail.com. Major Safety Team at ProtonMail.com. I know I keep breaking up because, well, I don't know why, but it seems to do that once the topic once we start cooking. So hopefully, am I breaking up now? Matter of fact, let me walk closer towards the building. Maybe that'll help. Am I clear now? No, it's okay. So, am I break? It's doing it again. All right. Well, I'm over here by the Wi-Fi. So right now, can't necessarily control the Wi-Fi signal over here, but let me say that email us one more time. Major. Oh, it's worse. Okay, it's worse, sir. All right. Well, now it's better. Yo, technology is only good when it works, y'all, for real. But anyway, Major Safety Team at protonmail.com. Hit me up if you need some business consulting. You need the coaching and the confidence driven information that's going to allow you to propel yourself in the direction you want to go. Hit me up. I wish everybody well. Come back to the live once it posts and hit those comments for me. And if you need some help, come back in the comments. If my feed is buffering and all that, come in the comments and I'll hit you there. I can see it buffering right now. So, hey y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. This is Major signing off for another kind of cool video. Appreciate all of y'all. Peace.